Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do every week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL played. But gentlemen, how are we tonight?
I'm really good. Well done, Tom.
He's embarrassed himself for the last 2 weeks. And
I think you've just embarrassed yourself now.
Seriously, honestly.
Did you guys have that planned, did you? That was
No.
What?
No, I pretend
No.
to talk without a voice. It's okay.
Okay, we did well.
Yeah.
It was just unplanned off the cuff, as I usually am.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be a long show.
Oh, it's going to be very long.
Sorry. How are we? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
Tom
So we're
already
good.
said he's great. I'm excellent. Yeah.
No, let us decide that.
Yeah, because we've known you at other times, and excellent isn't the word I would have used. But So, gentlemen, we're going to talk about an interesting round of football that has just been played. Some amazing surprises.
Yep.
And some interesting football. So let's start out at Suncorp Stadium where the Broncos defeated the Sharks 16 points to 7. And I think at halftime it was 7-6.
Yep.
And I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Nico Hines saved his worst game of the season for that game. He's been playing really, really well, and I don't know, something went wrong. I think the interesting thing in that match was that Wade Graham was back. And he had very little impact.
He's had a lot of time.
First game in 300 days.
I know, but the Cronulla back rowers have been playing really well, really structured football.
Yep.
Wade Graham is not a structured player. I don't know. I'm concerned that he's an older gentleman in the game now. Gentleman.
An older gentleman.
But I don't know how he's going to go in that team. I don't think they're playing a style of football that suits him, and I don't think that they. And I'm not suggesting it was his fault they lost, but the wheels just fell off. The wheels just fell off. They were terrible.
Yeah, they were.
Without saying that the Broncos were actually kind of good.
Well, I thought the Broncos were very good, and I think Reynolds again had another substantially good game.
Yep. You can say his name then.
Well, he plays for them.
That
Why can't I say
former
his
South
name?
halfback now at the
No, he won't
Broncos.
What do you mean almost South halfback?
He won't acknowledge that either.
No, yes, he will.
Never
He's
played for South.
Their greatest point scorer of all time.
He never played for the Bunnies.
Right.
That's
Anyway,
a different Adam Reynolds.
Do you want to say anything about the game, Tom?
No,
I'm
the
not
Broncos
listening to him anymore.
Broncos were good. The Sharks were unsurprisingly bad.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So let's move on to the next game where the Panthers 18 defeated Titans 4. Do we say anything about the Titans?
Well, the Titans were bad, but the Panthers were also bad, and they still robbed
it
the
was
home.
38 minutes before anybody scored a try.
Yeah.
It was so. Yeah.
So is there a suggestion the Panthers are going off the boil a little bit?
Geez, they're still winning.
But all of a sudden they're doing what our teams are doing and winning ugly, whereas usually that's not the Panther way.
Yeah, but I would say the Panthers have had some really good games where they've been exceptional.
Yep.
But the majority of games they've got a large slice of luck, and they've won ugly.
Yep.
I think when they click, they're going to just rip it apart.
Well, the Panthers only had 47% possession and a 72% completion rate.
Yeah, they were
probably
bad.
uncharacteristic for them.
Yes.
They were
So
bad.
for them to only have 47% of the ball
and still win comfortably.
and still win comfortably,
Mm.
I think we all thought the Titans would be a top 8 team.
No, we didn't all think that. Just two of us did.
And who were those two?
You and
Yeah,
Tom.
okay. I take that. that.
Not me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have them. There's something not quite right at that team. I don't know. Maybe.
Was this the week they had Fafita in the centre?
No, that was last week.
Yeah.
They brought him back into the forwards, but
Yeah.
again, he didn't have much impact.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you've got a weapon like the feeder in your team, why don't you get him the ball?
Yeah, but you've got halves that are very inexperienced. I mean, Toby Sexton's very inexperienced.
There was a time, I think it was in the second half, when I remember they were about probably 15 metres out from the line. They played the ball, and the halves went away, and Fafita's standing there saying, and he's holding his hands like this,
Yeah.
as if, where are you going? He's a better position to attack from. You guys are just going back and running in the middle all the time.
Well, they've got Brimson and Sexton, who are both untested, really, at this stage. And now they've replaced Brimson with Will Smith, who I rate as a player. I think he's a terrific all-rounder player, but he's not your specialist half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where their problem is. They've got no one directing traffic. Actually, it's the same for a few clubs this weekend. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't good.
No. All right, let's go on to Central Coast Stadium, Brian.
Deep breath.
Deep breath, where the Rabbitohs defeated the Seagulls 40-22. But before you say anything, I want to say Manly were exceptional to be down to...
Just trying to take the wind out of your sails.
No, seriously.
No.
I'm not about to say that they would have won if they had 13, but the way they played with 12, I think was exceptional. And it's actually an eye-opener for those teams who whinge when they lose a player for 10 minutes. Or, you know, you can actually do it. Against most other teams, I think the Eagles would have won it.
They
even with 12.
You know, and I don't want to take anything away from the Bunnies. There were a couple of tries there, particularly Cody Walker's, that I just thought if Manly were playing the whistle, that wouldn't have happened.
I thought
they just let the ball go.
I thought he lost the ball in that melee there before it went to.
But either way, I'm happy to say it went backwards. I don't know why the Manly players just all stopped. You got to play the whistle.
Yeah, and Foreign's try was a bit sus as well. But
I thought the turning point in the game, apart from the send off, was Marty Tapau had an absolute shocker. He threw two offloads that directly led to South's tries, and then massively missed Burgess as he ran past. Like Burgess just ran past him. Look, I don't know whether Marty's carrying an injury, and with our, one thing that Manly have is, or don't have, is a lot of depth.
Yep.
And we had Paseka, Davey, Amono, Alawai. I'm missing someone again.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, we had 5 forwards out.
Yeah.
And I think that was an exceptional effort when a skinny forward roster, they lose one in the first 10 minutes of the game, and they held Souths to, well, not that they held Souths, but they led at points.
But Souths only won, they won by 18, but I got to tell you, that was probably in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, which you can imagine after playing the man down.
You're done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yep.
Is the send-off justified?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tom?
Absolutely.
If you're gonna send in a player when there's an accidental shoulder contact on the head, and they're going to say, look, that's 10 in the bin, there is no other way to do things than if you lift a player and he hits the ground with his head or shoulder, then it's an off.
And your feet have left the ground.
Yeah.
So you're committed to that.
So my only frustration with that is that Jack Whiten wasn't sent off, and I considered that both of those tackles were equally as bad.
I agree. I think Jack
Whiten actually had a lesser charge.
Yes.
So not only were Manly penalised on the day and played an entire game, so in effect Carl Lawton's having 5 games off, Whiten's getting 3. That doesn't make any sense.
No. And I think that's where people talk about consistency.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of difference between those two tackles, and especially when there were 2 in the Canberra one.
I think if anything, the White one, to me, the White one looked worse, because once Lawton got Murray upright, he at least stopped the tackle. I think Whiten just continued on with it. And so, in my mind, that was a worse tackle. But
so he's got 3 weeks away.
Yeah, and
comes back for the Roosters.
and Lawton's got 4. Lawton's got 4. Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah, he's got 4. Interestingly enough, it was if you watch Fox, they all supported the send-off. If you watch Channel 9, none of them supported the send-off.
Yeah, if you watch 360 at the moment, there's absolute war going on there.
Yeah, because they
I watched. What did I watch? I know I watched Fox.
Phil Gould said it was stupid. It spoiled the product, and
so
he wasn't injured. So why?
But they're saying it spoiled the product because at that point, pretty much you could write Manly off.
But it was wasn't a better product, but because we wouldn't know. But it was a darn good game anyway.
Oh yeah, well, except for the result.
Oh, I love the result. But
yeah, look. There's been a lot. Look, can I just say on that? There's been a lot of talk this week about if a player is sent off, then you send them off, and 10 minutes later, another player comes on and makes it a fresh player 13 on 13. I don't think so. I think you've done the crime, you pay the time, it's a send-off. Let's make it consistent. If you lift a player and they hit the ground with their head or shoulder, they're off. I'm happy.
Yeah. So the other suggestion was you give the player who got sent off 20 minutes and bring him back on.
Yeah, I'm not happy with any of that. I reckon it's off or on.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go.
Okay, let's move on. Morton Daly Stadium, where the Warriors 21 beat Canberra Raiders 20 after a penalty in the last 40 seconds through a head-high tackle that would not have even knocked.
He did. I don't know that he actually made contact with his head.
Oh, I think he did. But honestly, it would have been so soft.
He went like this, and he sort of grazed his face.
That's all it would have been.
I'm not, and this is where the get those manly germs. Look, this is the hard part because you can't hit a bloke in the head, so it's a penalty.
Yeah,
but it was so innocuous.
It was soft.
Oh, he was playing for it. I mean, he's milking it. Absolutely.
Well, why would you not?
Yeah.
It's just
players milk it all the time. I mean, how many grapple tackles and all those sort of things do you see? Yeah, the moment someone's got pressure on the back of your head, doesn't matter how far you push, you go down.
So a few players were asked. I think James Graham was asked. So you're in that position. You could decide the game. Do you do it, or you lay down, or do you not? And he said, yes.
Yeah, I think most players would. As much as most players would probably say they don't like it, they would do it. If it's going to get them the win, they'll do it.
Just keep your arms off their face.
Yeah. But it was soft.
Well, it doesn't do anything for Matt Lodge's reputation.
No, and apparently he's after a new club, so I don't want him.
No.
Anyway, there you go. Yeah. And what do we say about the Raiders? I must admit, I had the Raiders in my top 8.
Well,
they're not winning another game.
They're living up to the faders now, aren't they? Yeah.
It's not even that. They're terrible. That was a dog of a game.
It was a dog of a game. But they were ahead, 20-12, I think, at halftime?
Yeah. It just...
I let another one slip out of their grasp.
And
they're in second last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
And they were in the grand final, only 3 years ago?
Yeah. I don't know what to... Yeah. And I think that the telling factor is, at the Raiders, is that all of the coaches talk about us, collectively.
Yeah.
Ricky Stewart started talking about them. That's the death knell.
You think he's starting to switch off?
That's the death knell. That's why I would nearly say the Raiders won't beat anyone else this year. I think their season is over at that point.
All right. Let's move on to Accor Stadium, where Brian, you're smiling, where the Bulldogs beat the Roosters 16-12. The last dying seconds, Joseph Sawali put his foot on the line for that final try.
But it shouldn't have mattered because Crichton spilled the ball to tackle before. No, sorry, that was the Tedesco try. Yeah. But yeah, there would. Yeah, I mean, he put his foot on the line. You're right. But also, did you see the pass from Manu Sawali?
Oh,
it was only about a metre forward as well.
Oh no.
It was brilliant. It was what the Roosters were doing all day.
In fact, Trent Robinson said...
there were a few forward.
Somebody asked Trent Robinson about Sawali's final try, and he said, there was this, there was the toe on the line, he said, and of course, Manu threw it forward. So, I mean, he was quite open about it. He knew that wasn't a try.
Look, I think at times we've all had our teams win on forward passes.
Yeah.
No.
But also, it was a forward pass from the forward pass that led to Tupanua's try. There were a couple of forward passes in that passage of play. That just shows how badly the attack of the Roosters is going. And I don't know what the problem is.
I
don't know that the coach knows.
I do.
Of course you do.
Okay, hang on.
Of course he does.
Speak in the camera.
Yep.
And tell Coach Robinson
all right,
how to fix it.
Coach Robinson, you've got two halves and no one knows who's in charge of the game.
Well, yeah, thanks, Scoop.
That's it.
Like nobody knew that.
Hey, that's what your problem is.
That is the problem. I'd be switching him back again.
It's not going to make a difference whether it's a 6 or a 7 because neither of them know who's in charge of the game. Sometimes one player has to get the ball first.
Yep.
The Roosters go either way.
And Kiri's a natural 6.
Yes,
he's a running 6. He's been. You can see he wants to run. He wants to run, and he's been told he's got to organise. And I hope that it's not that he doesn't lose the love for the game because he's just forced to do something that he doesn't want to do.
No, I can't imagine he'd lose the love.
But look, I mean, it could click over the next couple of weeks. It could, all go bang and everything could be great. But I think forwards weren't great. I think Siwa Takiaho, we're really going to miss him next year. He's going to Catalan Dragons. He's been the best.
He's the only forward who seems to be pushing forward at the moment.
Even Lindsay Collins has been disappointing, I think, and he's our future.
I was going to say, I thought Lindsay Collins was in for a wow of a year, and I think it's been disappointing.
Well, Egan Butch is coming back from an injury. He's a terrific young forward. But they may need to try some of the other forwards in the Bears, like Ranoff Tony, which from the Bulldogs. He's really good.
Question, Tom, without notice.
Yes.
My question without notice. When the game started, you had Victor Radley and Warrior Hargrave sitting on the bench.
Was that this week or last week?
Wasn't it this week?
No, it was last week.
Oh, either way.
No, it was the week.
Oh, it was the week before.
No,
it was this week.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
It was this week.
Make your point.
Why would you have your two best forwards sitting on the bench for the opening encounters?
Well, I don't know, but on the radio, one of the commentators, Graham Hughes, said that he thought maybe after Magic Round last year, when Radley and Pangai had words and Radley lost his stuff, they maybe were waiting for the heat to go out of the game, perhaps.
I can understand why you'd have Hargraves on the bench, but not Radley.
I know we should always start with Hargraves. Honestly, he gets even if he doesn't make a huge amount of meters, just the way he carries the ball up, says follow me. That's what I.
Just quickly.
So we should talk about the Dogs because the dogs were gritty.
So the Dogs have been terrible. What are we up to? Round 9.
Yep.
This was eight.
Eight. So the Dogs have been terrible for 7 rounds.
Yep.
Phil Gould started coaching them, and they win. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
No, look, honestly, Phil Gould coached them for a week or for a session, and I think it was more the rev up they got than anything else.
Yeah,
I don't think he did anything to change them.
Well, he was saying they were having a bit of fun and a laugh. That's what he was saying when they're out in the field.
Well, maybe,
I think he gave them a rev up before that. Apparently, there was there's always a source. A source from inside the clubs told him that they were in the boardroom or what do they call it, the room where the video room, and he was in the video room and apparently said that he gave them an absolute rev up.
And look, and that sometimes works. I mean, listen to the rev ups that Bellamy gives his players, and look how they come out and play.
Well, I was scared this week because I thought we're playing the bottom team. We've got no form at all, and they just had a rev up from the thing, and they're six rounds down. So I could have foreseen this coming, honestly. The
Dogs
are in trouble.
But the Dogs were good. They hung in there. They're not scoring.
Well, they didn't have much
points.
to beat.
Well, the Dogs threw nothing at him and still scored 3 tries. So I don't know.
I mean, one was an intercept try. It's soft. One was out of the dummy half run over, and that was just the defence switched off for a second. So they were pretty soft tries, those ones.
They were. All right. So let's move on to the next really interesting game. Cowboys 35 beat the Eels 4.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now, Brian, I know you're going to have a say about Mitchell Moses and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not saying anything. I think the scoreline speaks for itself.
Dylan Brown at centres and not 5'8".
They beat the Knights with Dylan Brown at centre, and he had an average game and was belted every time he touched the ball. And so he's not a centre.
No, he's not.
And you can't compare the Knights to the Cowboys.
No, you're not
going to either.
Please don't do that.
That's not a form.
And so I don't know. I mean, I understand Parramatta have outside back injuries.
Yep.
But there is no way Dylan Brown should have been moved outside of 5'8".
Yep.
He's part of the reason Moses has been going so well is because Brown takes all the pressure off him. Yep. It's pretty simple.
Yep.
Moses is the dominant half. He gets the kicks away. Everybody's happy. Dylan Brown runs the ball when he has the opportunity and occasionally has to put in a kick.
Yep.
Perfect. It's a great scenario that works for them.
Yep.
And then they move away from that combination.
Well, they've changed the back this week.
But they also, while they didn't score a lot of points, they had 35 scored against them.
Oh, yeah, that was embarrassing.
I mean, Scott Drinkwater was struggling. Last year, and that's why he didn't start playing. They put the hammer in to begin with. He gets injured. Drinkwater comes back and is having absolute blinder.
He's going really well.
Tommy didn't. I think he's really starting to find his niche.
Yeah.
He's found his game. He's found the kind of game that suits him, and he's playing well off Chad Townsend, which is good. And Kyle Feldt, what do you got to say about Kyle Feldt?
Oh, I love him.
I
think I said last week. I think he's underrated.
And you've got Holmes, who's kicking every goal he gets, and he's playing superbly in the centres.
Yeah. Man, he's playing good football.
Yeah. So it's all clicking. Yeah. And you see Tamalolo, all of a sudden now he's making those meters that he used to make.
Well, maybe that's why the halves are actually able to get on top of things.
Maybe, but it's all click. It's all starting to click. You know. Yeah. I mean, Tabuai came on, I think, with 15 minutes to go, scored a try.
Yep.
And I think he was instrumental in another one. So, yeah, I mean, it's all looking very good for the Cowboys.
Fafita at the Titans needs to watch Tamalolo. The way he gets himself involved, the times he takes up, because he's a stronger player as Tamalolo, but Fafita just doesn't seem to be able to either have him get involved or do it himself.
They play different, though. I mean,
I get it. I understand that. But the involvement
play 13.
No, because then where do you put Tino? You're not going to have him off the field. Yeah. He's been exceptional at the Titans.
Well, he does play in two spells. So.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's talk about an embarrassing game.
See, Tamalolo, by the way, had 15 runs for 187
metres. Yeah, that's right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Back to vintage Tamalolo.
Yeah, so Fafita needs to watch and play that way. Okay, let's move on. I don't know what really to say about this. Storm 50 beat the Knights 2.
I think the Knights were leading at the beginning of the game.
No.
Okay.
No.
2-0?
Yeah, I thought it was 2-0 to start with.
No, it was. They kicked just on half time.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, why would you score 2 when you're down 30 or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a penalty right on half time and kicked 2 points.
Yeah, but by that time they're already down 16 or something.
5 tries, yeah.
Geez, Bellamy would be disappointed. Pappenhausen missed 3 field goals, three conversions.
Can I just say, the commentators were saying during this game that Bellamy was upset at their defence.
Can't please the man, can you?
They scored 1 penalty goal. He reckons,
well, they shouldn't have done it.
He reckons, I was listening to the commentary and Bellamy gave them a rev up because the Knights were making too many metres. They didn't score a point. They didn't even look like scoring.
And this is my point about getting a rev up. And this is what I think happened to the Bulldogs. But I've got to tell you, their attack is scary.
Oh, yeah. They just create so much space. That's the thing. They just create
and
space.
they just keep coming.
Yeah.
It's like that try, like I said, that try that Cody Walker had scored against Manly, it wouldn't have been scored against Melbourne. Because Melbourne would have been going, there's the ball, get the ball.
Lock the ball up, exactly.
But Manly just went, it'll be a penalty. Oh, hang on, Cody Walker's going to score. We better chase him.
Yeah.
The difference between the way that Melbourne play is just, it's desperation at every point.
Yeah.
So I have nothing else to say other than I don't like Pappenhausen still.
Look, Coates and Meaney, regular try scorers.
Oh.
I mean, Coates was good at the Bulldog, the Broncos, but Meaney was struggling at.
Can I just say something about that? Yeah. I've heard 2 people now say that the Dogs didn't want Meaney. That is not true. I remember when he signed that the Dogs offered him exactly the same deal as Melbourne.
Okay.
And he chose to go to Melbourne, as you would.
I was going to say. You've got
as you would.
The wooden spooners on one hand, you've got near premiers on the other hand,
but
who turn everyone into superstars.
But for everyone who's out there saying the Dogs didn't want him, he was too small, too slow, he was just about their best player last year.
Well, that's right.
And the Dogs offered him the same contract money as Melbourne did.
So it shows what happens when you put a decent player into a good team.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Name me one player who's playing in Melbourne who's a superstar, who was a superstar before they went to Melbourne. There's not one.
Okay.
No, he wasn't a superstar.
Oh, yes,
he was a good winger.
He was emerging.
He was a state of origin winger.
Oh, he played one game.
No, you can't.
All right,
say that.
Okay, so that's 1 out of 17.
Hang on,
give me another 16.
Hang on.
It's interesting
give another 16.
Adokar's playing good, but you can see that he's not getting the opportunities.
Well, they're not getting him the ball.
Yeah,
he's got a winger shouldn't have to go and find the ball.
Mm.
Okay, let's move on.
I don't have time.
Brian, you're wrong. You just move on.
Yeah,
Okay,
Move on, you're wrong. That's it.
Move on. You're wrong.
Anyway, yep.
Last game of the round was Saints 12 defeated Tigers 6.
I didn't
I
get to see
actually
this
thought
game,
this
but I heard
was a
it
good
quite,
game.
quite an entertaining game.
Yeah, but
It
you
was. I was just
wouldn't know
doing-
what a good
I
game
was just
was.
stirring Barry up.
I thought this was a good game. I got to say I was disappointed the Tigers lost.
Yeah.
But,
Why?
Oh, because I wanted to see them win again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a try that the St George scored that I didn't think should have been. But
Well, there was a try that the Tigers should have scored but didn't score.
then that one as well, yes. I'm sorry, that was grounded. It was grounded.
Oh, is this the one
Yeah,
in
it
goal?
was
Yeah,
good.
I thought he got
And
the
if
ball
not,
down.
why wasn't it a penalty try?
It should have been
Well,
a
there's been
penalty
a
try.
couple of tries lately where the ball has been slammed on the ground, like Taff.
Yes.
He slammed the ball on the ground. It bounced up in the air. What's the difference with this guy? He put it down more gently and it bounced off the ground. He still got to the ground.
There
I thought he got a
That should have
good
been
In
a
the
try.
Manly game, there was a penalty try to Cherry Evans for exactly the same thing. He was the defending player went to take his arm out
That's
as
right.
he was Damien Cook as he was scoring.
Yep.
This is the same, and I understand that Lomax can't disappear, but he physically reached
Grabbed
in
him.
and grabbed the player's
right, yeah.
arm before
He changed
scored.
his mind, did he?
Yeah.
He was thought,
Yep.
I'm going for the ball. Oh no, I better go for the player.
And I think it's different if he was to grab his waist or something as opposed to grabbing his arm because then he is impeding him.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I don't understand why that
100%
wasn't a penalty
penalty
try.
So while it was only the Dragons, I think the West Tigers' attitude seemed to be after
Sorry,
the game.
Barry, he didn't mean only the Dragons.
Who beat us? I don't know. The West Tigers' attitude, I think, was different. Like,
Yes.
if they lost 6 weeks ago, they would have been spitting chips. They're probably saying, you know what, we hung in this game.
Yeah.
should have won.
We
it.
only restricted them to 2 tries. That's a good performance.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah,
there you go.
Zach Lomax, who I think is one of the best centres in the game, he just needs to grow up at the moment.
Yeah.
He's throwing stupid cutout passes,
Yeah.
big Harbour Bridge over the top. He's trying to niggle
Yeah,
players.
he's got a bit of arrogance in him.
He is an exceptionally good player. He just needs to pull his head in and play football.
All right, ladder.
Tom's got it.
It's behind you, but
It's on the-
yeah, but they're not going to.
You can read it.
I don't do the ladder.
Go.
Right, okay. So on the top, still undefeated is the Panthers, followed by the Storm. Then there's a 4-point gap to the Cowboys, Sharks, and Eels on 10 points. The Rabbitohs, Roosters, and Seagulls round out the 8. Also on 8 points is Broncos, Dragons, and Warriors. 12th position is a number of places teams. All the rest of the teams are actually on 2 wins. The Titans, West Tigers, Raiders, Bulldogs, and Knights at the bottom.
All right. We are going to go on to next week's games. We don't have a lot of time, so let's move through this reasonably quickly. Acor Stadium on Thursday, South Sydney Rabbitohs against the Brisbane Broncos. Welcome home, Adam Reynolds.
Wow, that is a big start. Bunnies to win that comfortably.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
No
that.
pain has.
Yep, comfortably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rabbitohs.
Yeah, and I say that because I think Adam Reynolds is going to have a blinder, but I just can't see them getting over the Bunnies pack.
I'm looking forward to the banter.
Are you going to the
Yeah,
match,
I am
Steve,
going.
so that you
Of
can
course I
hear
am.
them boo your favourite player?
Yeah,
Your
he's
ex-favourite
not his
player?
favourite player. Nathan Merritt doesn't play anymore.
No, that's right. Exactly. Oh, by the way, I want to say, South, do not go to the Sydney Football Stadium for football next year
Why?
Good.
because it's a shocking, shocking place to get to.
When I call it soulless...
No, he's talking about the Sydney
No,
football.
no,
Stadium.
I'm talking about
Not
Sydney.
Acor.
The new one.
Sorry, yeah.
No.
You can't walk there. You can't catch a train there. You got to get a bus. You know, thousands of people. You can't park there anymore. They're not going to let you park on the
Good.
road.
I'm glad to hear Rabbitohs do not want to be.
I do not
SFS.
want it. I'm going to
Good.
say I do
Good.
not want it.
Excellent.
All right,
Great. Don't deserve it anyway.
leave
Next.
the hovel to you guys.
Next.
Canberra Raiders against the Bulldogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, I think the Dogs will be up for this.
Yeah.
It is at GIO Stadium, but
Doesn't matter.
and no Jack Whiten.
Yeah, but Jared Craven's back.
That's not going to be. It's not a like for like.
I'm
No.
just...
But you know what? They might play for him too.
Yeah, maybe.
don't know.
Okay,
Dogs
let's.
will win.
Bluebet Stadium. Why do Panthers
Wait, hang
always
on.
seem to get?
Wait, who are you going? Dogs or Raiders?
Oh, Dogs.
Right, we're all going Dogs.
I think there's going to be a lot of away games for the Panthers. They've played a lot of home
They've played a
games.
lot of all
So hang
the
on,
top
so
teams.
we're
are
going
playing.
all going Souths, all going Dogs.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're only two
trying to
games
give you
into it.
We're trying to give you a leg up.
No. We're all going Panthers.
We're running out of time, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it'll be an entertaining game, this one.
Yeah, I think so
Panthers
too.
will get it, but I hope the Eels come with some steel.
I hope that they put 50 on them.
Who? Penrith on the Eels?
Yeah.
Haters.
Oh, absolutely. I hate them. I can't stand Parramatta.
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 Okay, let's go back to... Oh, hang on.
Brookie.
There we go. We're
Going
going
back to Brookie.
Four Pines Park.
Sandcastle.
Not anymore.
Manly
It's a
Sea Eagles
beautiful
against...
bowling green, sponsored by a lovely beer.
Go.
Four... Manly Sea Eagles against the West Tigers.
Ooh, this is going to be Seagulls.
No.
Tom's back. Tom's back.
Tom's back. Olakuatu's back. Alawai's back.
Three Travojeviches in the
Three
same team.
Travojeviches in the run-on
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Interesting.
I got to say I'm leaning to Tigers.
Oh, you reckon I'm a hater? Yeah, knock yourself out. Why?
And he tipped your team.
Why?
So
What?
I didn't
Hang
tip
on,
because-
why would you lean towards the Tigers?
Yeah.
Because you've still got quite a few injuries,
Yeah.
and because Hastings coming back. I think he might have a blinder.
Look, Hastings has said that him and Delhi Cherry-Evans have kissed and made up.
Doesn't matter.
He just hasn't made up with Trent Barrett yet.
Okay, let's go on to BB Prince Stadium where the Roosters are playing the Titans.
This is a hard game.
Yeah.
This is a hard game.
Well, it depends. If the Roosters have learned anything, then they're a chance. But, the last two or three matches these two teams have played, it's been a single point in the game.
Yeah.
On form, I would be thinking the Titans will win this. But it's going to be a BB print in Mackay.
Yep.
But, yeah, look, obviously I'm going to tip the Roosters. But not with any
I think
confidence.
Roosters, but
We all think Roosters.
barely.
Okay.
North Queensland against the Knights at Queensland Country
By
Bank
how many?
Stadium.
Cowboys by how many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cows, this is their first game in like 4 weeks at home.
Yeah.
They are going to destroy the Knights.
Yeah, I agree. Melbourne Storm against St George.
The Storm are going to destroy the Dragons.
Yeah, it's at home too.
I don't mean to be rude. I think the Dragons have been playing, pretty good football.
Well, you shouldn't be because Barry hates it when you're rude.
But the Storm have they're up a level. I'm sorry, I can't see even if they're playing the Panthers, who are the only other team that I think
Well, that's
can
next
beat
week.
them.
Next one.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, no,
Right.
Storm.
Cronulla and Warriors to round out the
Same
round.
discussion.
Yep.
I think the Sharks will bounce back, and I think they'll put a big
All right.
score on the Warriors.
So basically, we're all going exactly the same tips, except for Steve, who's going to pick the Tigers to beat Man.
No, who's thinking
no.
about that?
No. You know what? In our fully
This
tipping
would be a
comp-
good joker round, actually. This would
Yeah,
be a
would be.
really good joker round.
I've already done mine.
Yeah,
in
me
this,
too.
This
How'd you
week,
go?
Steve, I got 7.
Okay, how'd you go with your joke round?
4, I think.
Oh, you are picking the Tigers because I'm the comp administrator.
That's not the way it works. Okay,
No.
you got anything intelligent you want in the show with?
I just want to say I lost my Supercoach game last week.
Speaking
Steve.
of that, can I say
Do you know
next
why-
week?
do you
Next week.
Do you know why I lost my Supercoach game?
Why?
Because I moved Nico Hines positionally, because I moved him from fullback to 5'8", and forgot to put him in the team.
Oh, more for you.
Next week we're
Oh.
going to talk about Supercoach.
Yes.
Sorry, the colours are blurred. I'm going to have to fix that.
I lost to Glitzy of Doom. That would be
Yes.
Hayden.
Glizzy of Doom.
Glizzy. Yeah, well, that doesn't make any sense.
That's Hayden
Hayden.
Noki.
Yeah. And so, and this week I'm
Well,
up against
At least
Robbie.
something's going for Hayden.
So basically, I've only lost two games this year. Glizzy of Doom and Ron's Crocs.
Okay.
And it's
well,
not Ron's Crocs,
and
it's
and next
Rory's.
week we'll also talk about our top 5 for the tipping as well. So we want to
Wait,
start
I'm
bringing
not
these into the
there.
show.
You can't talk about that. All right.
You're not top 5. Trust
Yeah.
me. You're down the bottom with me, son.
Who's Gordon the Scott?
That's Gordon.
Gordon who?
Gordon who?
The Scott.
The Scott. Thanks, Gordon the Scott.
Anything you want in the show with Tom?
Well, I was going to say it's good to be back, but now I'm not so sure.
Well,
Doom and gloom.
Yeah,
it should be good. You're going to go home excited.
Still was.
This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom Bryan and Steve. Thanks for watching. We'll do it all again next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.